Have you ever wished you had information before you went through or experienced a thing? Like seeing the ending before you even began. Well, that might not be realistic, but even with the wealth of information available today, having true insight ahead of time is always key. And when I started Ozempic, I really wish I would have had this insight. But nobody told me all the ins and outs and the many secrets before I took my first weight loss shot. And I wish they had. Hey, I'm Coach Kisha, a nurse practitioner and holistic nutrition weight loss coach. And this is Weight Talk Thursdays, where we keep it heart-centered, hormone-friendly, and real life approved. I started my weight loss journey on Ozempic, and I later transitioned to Mounjaro. So what I'm sharing with you today comes from both personal experience and clinical insight, because I thought the shots would have handled everything: my appetite, my weight, my habits. But what I learned the hard way is this medication helps, but it doesn't do the work for you. And if you're thinking about starting or you just took your first shot, you need to hear this episode before you go any further. And be sure to stick around, because I'll be sharing 5 things I really wish I knew before I ever took a weight loss shot. And note, this applies to every weight loss shot and not just Ozempic. So let's start with the biggest misconception most of us walk in with. The shot is here to save the day. And that's the wrong thought, because the shot is not your strategy. When I took my first shot, I truly believed this was the answer. Less hunger, less effort, and finally some weight loss relief. But here's the truth. Medication supports your biology, but it doesn't build habits. It doesn't teach you how to eat, how to manage stress, or how to maintain results. And I didn't understand this at first, but once I did, everything shifted. And once you realize this as well, the next piece will start to make more sense. And this one deals with side effects. Side effects are signals, and they are usually not medication failures. So let's talk about side effects, because not a lot of people really explain this part very well. Nausea, fatigue, constipation, feeling off. Here's what I've seen. I've experienced these symptoms myself. I see them in clients on GLP-1 weight loss medications all the time. And they're often tied to not eating enough food, low protein intake, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalances. And this showed up for me on Ozempic and later on Mounjaro. And the solution wasn't quitting. It was learning how to support my body. Now, here's something that confuses a lot of women. Weight loss does not equal fat loss. And let's be clear, the scale can drop quickly on these medications, but women over 40 are already at risk for muscle loss, and weight loss shots can worsen muscle loss if we're not intentional. And that's exactly why strength training matters. Even on medication, the scale can go down while your metabolism is quietly slowing. And that's not what we want. From a coaching standpoint, we want true fat loss, because fat loss protects long-term success, and muscle gives us the metabolic insurance we need to lose weight and keep it off. And even when the scale is moving, something else still shows up, and that's our mindset. The shot doesn't quiet our thoughts. I really wish someone had told me this one sooner. The medication helps appetite, but it doesn't erase emotional eating or the fears around sustainable weight loss. And let's break this down practically. Food thoughts still exist. The fear of regaining weight can start early, and the pressure to do it right is very real. And this is where mindset becomes just as important as the medication itself. Because if our minds are not positioned for success, 99.9% of the time, we will not achieve or sustain our ultimate weight loss goal. Which leads to the last thing I really wish I had known. You need an exit plan early, even if you never use it. Most women don't think about what happens after the medication until something changes. And that can include insurance issues, supply delays due to demand, or just plain old life. Here's what matters most though. Habits must be built early. Confidence should outweigh dependence, and having a strategy always beats panic when medication isn't available. And this is why coaching alongside medication matters so much. Having that accountability partner keeps you aligned with your goals. As women over 40, we often think, I can handle it. I've got this. And that mindset comes from managing everyone and everything else around us. But when it comes to our health, many women in this stage of life put themselves on the back burner, and we never fully experience success for ourselves. That's where a coach, especially a weight loss coach, can be a powerful asset on your journey. You know, this is the exact reason why I created the work I do at Ample Health and Wellness. I support women over 40 who are using or transitioning off weight loss medications by helping them build real habits, protect their metabolism, and develop confidence that doesn't depend on a prescription. That support looks like my book, The Wait Is Over, my Fresh Start Masterclass, and my holistic weight loss coaching program, all designed to help women lose weight in a hormone-friendly, sustainable way so that they're not starting over every time something changes. And you can review these offers at amplehealthandwellness.com, or you can click the links in the program's description. So if you are on a weight loss shot and didn't know these things, you're not behind. You're learning. And if you're just starting, you're already ahead. In the next few Weight Talk Thursdays, we'll talk more about how to eat enough, protect your metabolism, and transition confidently if or when medications change. Well, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if you're watching today's episode at the time of its original release, happy holidays. And remember, your health is not a secret. It's your story. So own it. Until next time, please stay healthy and most definitely be safe. Bye.